Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We start with track and field. Jamaica's Jaydon Hibbert says he surprised himself with his stunning World Under-20 record at the NCAA SEC Conference Championships in Baton Rouge on Saturday. Competing for the University of Arkansas, the 18-year-old former Kingston College athlete leapt to 18.87 meters to destroy the previous World Under-20 mark of 17.50 set in 1985, 38 years ago, by East Germany's Volker May. His effort also shattered the NCAA record and is the second longest jump by a Jamaican in history, just behind James Beckford's national record of 17.92. It is also the best jump in the world this year, ahead of U's Fabrice Zango of Burkina Faso, who has gone 17.81. In a post-competition interview, the reigning World Under-20 champion said he will no longer put limits on himself, and maybe, in a warning to the world, said he hasn't even peaked yet. The man who can give us more details is Jaydon's coach, Travis Geffert. Travis, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. You're doing great things, not just with Jaydon, but with a number of Jamaican athletes, a number of Caribbean athletes, actually, because you also have the Commonwealth champion in your ranks in the long jump. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
You know, Jaydon said at the end of his performance at the weekend that he was surprised, and he genuinely seemed a little bit surprised. Were you surprised by that 1787 World Under-20 record?
You know, I've been asked what I thought he could jump, and I withheld what I actually thought. But I thought he could jump over 1780, and that's what he did. It was pretty awesome when he did it, though.
Yeah, it was magnificent, and he also spoke about not peaking just yet. Can you give us a peek into what this young man's program has looked like and what it will look like for the rest of the 2023 season?
Yes, you know, obviously we wanted to be intelligent and keep a bigger picture in mind for the entire year. So we've kept him on a limited amount of jumps through the year and kept him on a short approach. He's moved back to 12 steps. You know, he did 12 steps at the end of indoor, and we're going to keep him on 12 steps through this NCAA season. And then we'll get back to the full approach this summer, which will be 14, and you know, let the reins off a little bit and let this young man see what he can do. Yeah,
you said you expected him to jump over 1780, which he produced at the weekend with 12 steps, as you pointed out. Can you give us an explanation of the difference between that 12-step approach and the 14-step approach, and why potentially he could go even further when he goes to the full run-up?
Well, you have to be smart as you progress through it. You know, we started this season at 8 steps and then have gone to 10 and then have gone to 12. He's gotten so much stronger and also so much faster. You know, we have to be a little bit careful that he can handle the speed. And so it's really the amount of steps that you take is just a matter of how much speed you can handle. And right now he's obviously handling 12 steps really well. You know, I think that he can get back and handle a little bit more speed as we progress. But the timing's a little different, you know, and so as you add more speed, the timing's a little bit different. The angles coming into the board are a little bit different. So we just got to train and focus on the process and allow him to figure that timing out, and then we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and Coach, you know, I've had the pleasure of interacting with Jaydon, of course, via interviews and whatnot. And his personality is something that, of course, is very electric. Can you talk to us about, you know, your relationship with Jaydon and just Jaydon as a person?
He's just a fantastic young man. You know, he's a joy to coach, and he's truly a student athlete. Like, he does an excellent job in the classroom, takes care of his business, always ahead of the game academically. Always on time to all his academic meetings, and then of course practice and everything too. But just on top of his game, you know, and very coachable. You know, happy, excited to train, but yet humble at the same time, and just a fantastic young man, and truly a coach's dream in every way. And it's really been a joy getting to know him better, and And he's a motivated young man, and I'm excited to be part of his journey.
Yeah, you use the word humble, and instantly I think that's a really good definition of Jaydon. Of course, now he has said he will not put any limits on himself. So what are we to expect of this youngster in the future?
Well, I know that he's going to be a competitor. I know he's very proud of being from Jamaica. He's very proud to wear the colors. He went to the Carifta in Bahamas this year and was extremely excited to represent his country in the under-18s and did a fantastic job of doing that. So I can guarantee that you're going to have a young man that's going to represent Jamaica very well every time he steps on the track. And he's proud of where he's from. He's proud of his family. He's proud to be from the University of Arkansas, and everybody and everyone that he represents, he does it with integrity and class. And I'm just really proud of him. Just a terrific young man and having success, and he deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, Coach Travis, he only turned 18 a couple of months ago. Talk to us about, well, first of all, is he still growing? And I want you to talk about his body type and how it sets him up for even further improvement. You said a few minutes ago that he has gotten stronger. And I asked that because we had him in studio here live on this show over a year ago, and he looked a little on the small side for such a terrific athlete in the event that he is doing. So first, is he still growing? And talk to us about his body type and how it sets him up for improvement.
He's very much still growing. He's actually going through a growth spurt. At the beginning of this outdoor season, he was having quite a bit of discomfort in his hips.
Yes.
And so we needed to get it checked out, and we found out he was literally going through a growth spurt. His, in terms of his growth plates, they measured them, and they're still separated. He's a young man that's going to continue to get taller. And so we had to be careful with that. Any young athletes, you got to be mindful of their bodies and the total training load you put on them and the volume you put on them. And so we were very careful as we progressed through that. And I think he's through that little growth spurt right now, but I think there's probably another one ahead. And he's a young man that's growing into his body. He's getting stronger. He's getting faster. He's getting taller. And so, like he said, he's not going to put any limits on himself, and I'm not going to put any limits on him either.
Yeah, in that same interview that Ricardo referenced, he did hint at looking ahead to the World Championship coming up in August, which, given what he's doing at the moment, we should not put any limits on the possibilities for him. But then, Coach Travis, he had shown this kind of potential from several years ago. He was only 16 years old when he won a silver medal at the Under-20 World Championship.
Yeah. Well, Coach Jeremy DeLisser at KC just did a fantastic job mentoring him and coaching him along the way. And so the foundation was laid at a very young age. And I think that it's also been great the way his training has been handled at a young age, and then moving to here. It can easily be criticized to the limit of jumps that we put on him. But we're not going to get greedy. We're going to be smart. We're going to keep a big picture in mind. And I know that's what they did, at KC with him in high school, just laid the foundation. And we need to continue to build upon that foundation and keep a bigger picture in mind as he continues to progress.
Yeah, Coach, you spoke about Jeremy DeLisser, who is the jumps coach of Kingston College. Together, you have a unique and successful history. And a lot of people may not know this, but you coached Elaine Bailey, Tariq Batchelor, I think you would have inherited those two. You now have in your setup Kerry McLeod. You also have in your setup Wayne Pinnock, who won the SEC long jump title at the weekend. There's Ryan Brown, another Jamaican, not a KC man, rare, but Ryan Brown, who you would have inherited as well, because you would have gone back to Arkansas and seen him there already as part of the program. And there's also Shaquan Cook, who is in your setup. And if you go Caribbean-wide, there's Laquan Nairn out of the Bahamas. It's a terrific group of jumpers that you have there. But specifically, talk to me about that relationship with the Kingston College jumps coach, Jeremy DeLisser, and how you've been able to get a number of athletes he has coached and transition them into even better athletes.
Well, I think there's just a tremendous amount of respect I know that I have for Coach, and I think, the respect is mutual. I think from the very beginning, starting with Elaine Bailey, I think we just treated these young people right. And then after that, and there was success that came from that. And Elaine jumped 8:34, which was a personal best and #1 in the world at the time. And then it just kind of builds upon itself. But it is about relationships, and it's relationships with these, with the coaches, of course, but then the other people in Jamaica at the schools and there at KC, obviously we had a great relationship with them. But across the board, the parents, you mentioned Ryan Brown, Kamoy Campbell, I was fortunate to go recruit him from Jamaica back in the day. Kamar Moat, the 400 hurdler, is here at Arkansas and 4th at the World Championships. But I think what has happened over the years is the parents have appreciated that we've treated these young men very well while they're here and keep a bigger picture in mind for them. Very focused, not just on the athletic side of it, but the academic side of it and getting their degrees. All the people I've mentioned have gotten their college degrees and done a fantastic job. And eventually track and field does end. We've had a number of athletes go pro and be very successful and win global medals and all of it. But having that degree at the end of the day and having great relationships with people is ultimately what it's all about. And I, as a parent, my kids are young, our kids are young, but I want to take care of these kids and no matter where they're from, Jamaica, U.S., you name it. But I think we've done a good job of taking care of these young athletes from Jamaica.
Yeah, you've definitely done a fantastic job. I'm going to put you on the spot a little here because, as I just pointed out, you've coached a number of quality jumpers from Jamaica and, by extension, the Caribbean as well. Is Jaydon Hibbert the most talented you've worked with?
Well, I tell you what, anytime you break any world record, it's hard to question the talent. That's of course true. Extremely talented, and I'm very proud of him, but it's just cool. I reflect back and one word that comes to mind is being grateful. I'm grateful to Coach Jaydon and to Coach Kerry and Wayne and Ryan and Shaquan and, but I'm grateful to have coached Clive Pullen. He's a little bit of the grandfather of the group, although he's only 29, he's the grandfather of the group. And, all these young athletes, all very talented. And I just have to give compliments to the system in Jamaica. I've talked about it many times in the past and publicly spoken about it, but Champs is a stage that sets the tone for these athletes to go beyond high school and have tremendous success. And the knowledge, coaching base in Jamaica across the board is fantastic. There's tremendous coaches down there across all events. I went down to Champs this last year and the jumps we've already talked about, but it's beyond the jumps. There's sprinters there, but now there's middle distance and distance and hurdlers and you name it. I just applaud all the coaches in Jamaica continuing to evolve the sport and help these young people utilize the stage that they have, and it's impressive. Everything that's done down there in the high school ranks is it's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, impressive indeed. Travis, I can't believe that I didn't say the name Clive Pullen, and you are right, pretty much the grandfather of that group. And congratulations to him on his firstborn as well. So, yeah, Travis, Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and we hope that you'll continue to do a magnificent job with these Jamaican athletes. And the pressure is on now because all of Jamaica will be looking for medals in Budapest, Hungary at the World Championships this summer.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Thank you, guys. And happy birthday to our very own Veronica Campbell-Brown. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There you go. Great Arkansas competitor as well, Veronica Campbell-Brown. Travis Gifford, he is the jumps coach at the University of Arkansas, doing magnificent work with a number of the Jamaicans. We had Jaydon Hibbert breaking a triple jump on the 20 world record, but don't forget that Wayne Pinnock won the SEC long jump title as well. Kerry McLeod was in that field, who was the NCAA indoor champion in the long jump. Ryan Brown was a silver medalist behind Jaydon Hibbert in the triple jump. Just a fabulous group that he he has there at the University of Arkansas. We take a break on the SportsMax Zone. When we return, we'll be talking about the NBA. The Eastern Conference Finals begin on Wednesday. The Miami Heat will be in action and they'll play the Boston Celtics. They'll be meeting for the third time in the last 4 seasons in the Eastern Conference Finals. And guess what? It will be live on SportsMax starting at 7:30 p.m., 8:30 in the rest of the Caribbean. We'll be discussing all things NBA after the break.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.